everybody, it's Deborah from PeopleLovingAnimals.com. Thanks so much for tuning in and watching today's video. Today's video is called 10 Things That Every Dog Owner Should Know. I came across a blog post written by professional dog trainer and behavioral specialist Doggy Dan. He is the owner of the online dog training website called theonlinedogtrainer.com. If you've been here before, you have heard me talk about Doggy Dan. I strongly believe in his dog training philosophies and techniques, and I support him and promote his website on my website and also on this YouTube channel. And when he had his 10-year anniversary of his online dog training website, he did this really nice, very touching blog post about what he says is 10 things he wants every dog owner to know. So I just really wanted to share it here on my channel. Now, if you've not been here before, my name is Deborah. I own PeopleLovingAnimals.com, and several times a month I do videos all about the care and health and training of dogs and cats. So if you have a pet that you would like to receive continuous help with, please go ahead and subscribe if you're not already. Please go ahead and share the channel with your friends and family who have a dog or a cat. They may appreciate, and they might need the help that's available here on this channel. I would appreciate it so much if you would share it. And if you do like today's video, please go ahead and give it a like. It really does help YouTubers when you like and subscribe, because that tells YouTube that you thought the video was valuable, and they'll go ahead and push it out to more people. And in our case, that means that more dogs and cats can be helped. So thanks so much again for tuning in. Let's go ahead and get into the video. On my website, PeopleLovingAnimals.com, I've got this article, 10 Things Every Dog Lover Should Know, and it takes people directly to Doggy Dan's blog. So I'm just going to take you right there. Now, what I'm going to do in today's video is I'm just going to tell you what the 10 things are, and then I'm going to give you a link to Doggy Dan's blog post, so you're going to be able to just go ahead and go in and read the entirety of what he has to say about things. I think you'll find it quite touching and very interesting as well. Like I said, he did this with his 10-year anniversary of the online dog trainer. 10 things every dog owner should know. Number one, there is no such thing as a bad dog. Doggy Dan says that continuously in his training. There are no dogs that can't be trained. There are no dogs that are just inherently a bad dog. Number two, every dog can be a great dog with a little time, patience, and training. Number three, kind, gentle training methods are always the most effective way to get your dog to listen. Number four is your dog can sense when you're happy, sad, anxious, or stressed. That's one of the things that Doggy Dan points out when he's doing dog training for things like dog anxiety or dogs with separation anxiety or even aggressive dogs. They do tend to follow our lead to some extent, and they'll follow our lead completely if they see us at the pack as the pack leader, which is something Doggy Dan teaches in his training, how to get your dog to see you as the pack leader. But my point is that it's very important that you realize, dogs, just like kids, they're watching you. If you're upset, they're going to sense that. If you're angry, if you're aggressive, or even if you're sad, they're going to sense that. So, dogs can, they know a lot more than we think, right? Number five, no dog is perfect, but all dogs deeply desire to make us happy. I really do think that of dogs and also of cats, that if they can figure out what it is that we're asking, most dogs and cats will comply. Most dogs and cats want to please their owner. I think especially dogs. I had one dog in particular. He was a Boston Terrier named Cagney. And I'm telling you, that dog was the most compliant pet I have ever had. He was quite smart, so it wasn't that difficult for Cagney to understand what I was asking of him. But the fact is, if he could understand what I wanted, he would comply. And he would comply no matter what I was asking from him. For a very cute example is Cagney had a lot of digestive problems, and he would often have diarrhea. And the vet would tell me at the onset, go ahead and give him a teaspoon of Pepto-Bismol. Well, how do you get a dog to take Pepto-Bismol, right? One vet told me once that you can take a little Pepto-Bismol and spread it across their lips and then they lick it off. You know, that's the easiest way. But after a while, the dog would get wise to that. And so poor Cagney had diarrhea so often that, you know, it became kind of a common thing for me to try to slip him the Pepto-Bismol. And so I finally just had to just ask him to take it. And I'm telling you, I go up to the dog with Pepto-Bismol on a teaspoon. I went up to him. I put the teaspoon in front of his mouth, and he looked at me like, are you kidding? I mean, the smell of it, it's not gravy. They don't want Pepto-Bismol. And I simply said, please, sweetheart. And he licked it off the spoon. You know, so I really do feel, let me give you one more example and then I'll move on from this. If you've been here before for my cat videos, you know that I have a fairly new kitten named Whiskers. He just had his 1-year birthday. I adopted him as a feral kitten back in October. And again, he is a very compliant boy. Now, I know everybody says that about their pets, but he's really smart. He does seem to be kind of like above average intelligence. So again, it's not hard for me to get Whiskers to understand what I'm asking. But he will go so far when I'm speaking to him or when I'm trying to show him something. He'll go so far as to look at me with his little cute face and he goes like this. And he's studying me. Like, what is it that she is asking? Like, you can see the wheels turning. He's trying to figure it out. And he often does figure it out. And when he figures it out, he will do it. He will comply. I just feel like he really wants to make me happy. So I think that just try to keep that in mind, especially if you have a pet who you're having difficulty with. If you feel like they're being defiant or chances are they're not. I think deep down, most pets really do want to please you. And it's our job, I think, to figure out how to communicate with them in a way that they'll understand what it is that we're asking of them, right? Sorry to stick on that one for so long. Number 6, the most important gift you can give to your dog is your time. You know, sometimes don't you feel guilty? You know, I do. Because, you know, we work for a living, we have social lives, we have to do stuff like get groceries, go to the dentist, go to the doctor, you know, all this stuff. And sometimes I think our pets just kind of get left behind. And, you know, it's not neglect, it's not our fault. You know, we do the best we can. But sometimes I think we have to really try to, for example, say on a Saturday morning, just say to yourself, how much time did I spend with my dog or my cat this week? And really think about it. It's like, okay, Monday I got up and went to work. I was at work all day and then I went to my yoga class. And I didn't get home till 8 and I was in bed by 9. You know, Tuesday I went to work all day and then I went for groceries and then I went and picked up the kids and then I got home at 7. We had dinner. And do you know what I mean? Like, try to just kind of review the week and say, how much time did your dog or cat get attention from you and time with you that week? You know, and I think it also doesn't take a lot. Every night I spend a few minutes, sometimes up to a half an hour in my living room just playing with Whiskers, just playing with them. Do I want to? Not really. You know, I've worked all day. I'm tired. I would rather just lay on the couch and, you know, have a cup of tea or go for a walk or whatever. But I take the time to play with him because I think, you know, first of all, for the time being, he's my only cat. You know, he doesn't have a playmate. And so who else does he have to play with except me? He's only a year old, so he has, you know, tons of energy. And so it's like, all right, I've been busy all day and I have a social life and I did this and I did that, but what has he done today? You know, so I just think that we have to try to be conscious of that. And how much time is your pet spending alone? And even if they aren't alone, how often are you or your family actually spending time with the pet? So I think it's important. Number 7, your dog is never too old to learn a new trick. By the way, I'm just giving you my insights on these 10 points. I really would like it if you'd use the link I give you in the description box and go to Doggy Dan's blog and read it, because his insights really are quite valuable given the fact that he's been a professional dog trainer for a number of years and a dog behavioral specialist. So he has insight that I can't give. I'm just kind of giving you my feedback as we go here, but please go ahead and read it. I think that you'll enjoy it. Again, Number 7, your dog is never too old to learn a new trick. Some people think that they can't, for example, potty train an adult dog, right? Some people think that older dogs can't learn new tricks, you can't teach them things, whatever. And Doggy Dan believes that just simply is not true. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but my interpretation of Doggy Dan's dog training in this regard is a dog is a dog is a dog. You know, dogs learn the same way, they communicate in the same way, they have the same natural instincts, whether they're 6 months old or 10 years old. You know, so don't ever think that if you have an older dog, you can't teach them things. Now, if you have a senior dog, then obviously you need to, you know, you don't want that, you know, oh, I think I'm going to get my senior dog to go on a jog with me. You know, you have to, you know, do things and expect things of them that are within their physical abilities, especially if they have health issues or if they have arthritis or something, you know. But for the most part, if you have a fairly young, not elderly dog, chances are you can teach them pretty much anything and they can learn pretty much anything. And chances are a lot of things you're going to want to teach them, they're going to enjoy, right? So don't count them out just because they're adult or just because they might be an older dog. Number 8, adopting a dog is a lifetime commitment. You know, some people, they don't realize, you know, whether it's a dog or a cat, how much responsibility that is, how long the animal's going to live, what kind of you know, time and attention they're gonna need. And it's kind of sad because people just think, oh, it'll be fun to get a dog, or oh, it'll be fun to get a puppy, or it'll be fun to get a cat. There's a video on my YouTube channel called, I think the title is Christmas Puppies, Are You Ready for the Responsibility? And that's another video I did in conjunction with Doggy Dan's blog post on this subject, where he really says, you know, it's real cute to get a puppy for Christmas, but do you really know what you're getting into? You know, do you know what's involved in training that dog? How many times a day a dog has to go out? How many times they need to be fed? When your pet gets older, what are their medical needs going to be? What are those expenses going to be? Can you afford a dog or a cat? So, of course, I would never, and I'm sure Doggy Dan would never want to discourage somebody from adopting a dog or a cat. I've always said if you can provide a loving home for an animal, you should, you know. But you do have to make sure that you're going to be able to take care of that animal, you're going to be able to train the animal, you're going to be able to feed the animal, you're going to be able to provide medical care, and you're going to be able to spend time with the animal, you know. So I think that in Doggy Dan's career, he's just probably seen a lot of that, where people got a dog and then they just didn't realize, you know. Number 9, there's nothing that a good cuddle or a walk in the park can't fix. You know, isn't that true of not only pets, but of people as well? There's been a lot of times in my life when I've been going through something particularly difficult, and I have found that walking has helped me a lot. Now, I'm a walker in general. I live in Western New York, near Buffalo, and I walk all year long. And you can imagine, you know, how cold it is where I live in the wintertime, but I walk every day all year long. And the reason I do it is mostly for my mental stability, you know, for my emotional health. You know, it raises your endorphins, it raises your serotonin level, you know, both for you and your dog. It's fresh air, it's sunshine. If you are a person who is isolated somewhat, going out and being in the park, taking your dog for a walk, you know, it just can really, really help us in so many ways. And also a good cuddle, you know, just affection. You know, if I'd have thought of this before I did this video, I would have looked it up for you, but there's also a video on my YouTube channel, something to the effect of how pets improve our health. I'll link that for you at the end of this video. I can't remember the exact title, but it is, you know, one of these things. You know, going for a walk with your dog is so much, it's so healthy for you that you don't even realize, you know, how many benefits there are. And also a cuddle. You know, when I was a kid, we had a poodle named Peppy, and I have a brother and sister, and so we had him when we were quite young. And at one point, we each had our own bedroom, and the dog, Peppy, would take turns, and every night he would sleep a little while with each of the three of us. He would come to my bed, he would sleep there a little while, a couple hours later he'd go to Tammy's bed, he'd go to my brother Bill's bed. And so he made a point to spend time with us each night. But I'm telling you, there's a lot of nights that I was crying my eyes out for whatever reason, and it was such a comfort to have Peppy cuddle with me, you know. And I've had that experience not just as a kid but as an adult, where, you know, having a dog helps. You know, if you're going through something, you know, sometimes they're the only one that likes you. You know, they're the only one that cares about you, the only one that gives a crap when you come home from work, or they're the only one that misses you if you're not home, you know. So, I don't know. I just think that there's a lot of truth in what Doggy Dan says, that there's nothing that a good cuddle or a walk in the park can't fix. And number 10 is, your dog might only be a small part of your life, but you are the dog's entire life. I think that's also true of a cat. And again, we touched on this a little earlier. You know, you've got your life, you're busy, you're going places, you're doing things. You've got to take a minute and consider, what is your dog's life like, or your cat? You know, how much fun are they having in their life? How much exercise are they getting? How much attention? How much cuddles? You know, how much time with you are they getting? And we just have to realize that, you know, if you think about your dog or your cat walking around your house, you know, dogs generally go out in the yard, you know, or they're taken for walks. But a cat, for example, my cat Whiskers, I don't have another pet. It's only him, and he's an indoor cat. So what is his life? His life is here in my house, and that's it. You know, I mean, obviously we have the screen door, we have windows, you know, people come over, whatever, but I'm just saying, like, you know, you got to consider, what is their dog, what is your dog's life like, or what is your cat's life like? And we have to realize how big a deal we are to them. And also, not just for their entertainment, but because they love us so much and they care about us so much, right? So again, I thank you so much for watching the video. I'm going to go ahead and give you a link to this this blog post in the description box of this video. If you go in the description box, you'll see some other things from me about Doggy Dan. I have a dog lovers email list. If you'd like to subscribe to that, about once a week or so, you'll get an email from peoplelovinganimals.com all about dogs. It'll either be an article or a blog post or a video all about the care and health and training of dogs and puppies. I think that you'll enjoy it. You can unsubscribe from that at any time. And when you subscribe to that, I'll send you a free gift. It'll be a free dog training manual written by Doggy Dan. I'm also going to give you the links to Doggy Dan's online dog trainer website. Like I said, it is my number one recommendation on my website for dog training. I do believe in his philosophies and his techniques. So again, thank you so much for watching the video. If today's video was helpful, if you enjoyed it, please go ahead and share it with your friends who have a dog or a cat, and please go ahead and give it a like so that more people can benefit from these sorts of thoughts about our pets. Thanks so much for watching. My name is Deborah, and my website is peoplelovinganimals.com. Thanks again.